Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goble and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. A shout out to another great sponsor, Journey Auto and Boat Sales in Richmond.
Welcome to the Coach Mark Center Show. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the Coach Mark Center Show.
We look forward to seeing you on Madison County School Sports Television.
It's the Mark Center Show from the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios in Richmond, Kentucky. Now with your host, Samantha Burford.
Welcome back to the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford. We're here at the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios, and we just kind of take over the place. But of course, I am here with the coach that we have to congratulate, and I'm just going to roll right in with it. The big Bourbon County win and the big Dunbar win. Coach, this is the first time you've gone 3-0 in a long time. My notes say 2008 for the team.
Yeah, that's Nathan actually brought that to my attention from over at the Register, and of course that was an awfully strong team in 2008. It was the first year that I was at Garrett County, so
right.
The first year I was actually gone from Madison Central as an assistant. So a lot of those guys were awfully good ball players, and we're happy that our young men have had the opportunity to start off well. And we hope to keep it rolling.
Well, I know Dunbar seems like a long time away because that was 2 games ago. So let's just talk about them, just you know, because I'm sure you want to mention it a little.
We'll just kind of recapping, you know, a really good road win for us, and you know, that's something that we're trying to get back to is the concept of going over to Lexington and winning a ball game and coming back home. You know, that's our area and our region, and of course, you know, we know with Dunbar, we could easily see them again come October in the playoffs. And well, I guess our first week in November would be the time. But you know, we need to be able to compete, and did that. Defense had a really strong showing against Dunbar. I think we held them to 103 total yards offense, and that was a great night. We had, you know, several individual guys that did very well that game, but it was definitely a team effort, certainly on the defensive side of the ball. You know, Coach Miller and Coach Kirk have been doing a fine job of preparing our defenses, and the kids have done a really good job executing the game plans the last couple of weeks. So, you know, and had another good performance against Bourbon County this past Friday night.
You have to be super proud of not only your coaching staff, but just your players. That's what I said to you during halftime. Offensively and defensively, it seems like they really executed well, both sides of the ball.
Well, and that's really the key. That's the answer, as much as can be, to everything. We're doing a pretty good job of implementing the game plan, doing a pretty good job of executing our assignments, and you know, from a coaching perspective, it's always easier to fix things when you know we tell our guys, you know, even if you mess up doing what we've asked you to do and doing the job that we've asked you to do, then we can fix that. We can go back and repair that or adjust and change and move forward. And you know, it's difficult when that's not going on, but you know, our guys are playing well. You know, we're playing with a lot of confidence right now, which is very good, and I feel like, you know, that's just a sign that you know, things are coming together on the mental side of things as well.
Right.
You know, their belief in us and our belief in them.
Right. Well, Bourbon County, the Colonels, they are ranked, you know, in the top 10 in Class 4A. So, you know, going into it, were you at all like, okay, I know you were extremely excited to play this team because you possibly could see them again, right?
Well, we'll see them again next year. Of course, being in 4A, we wouldn't see them in the playoffs. But
that's right. So it's Dunbar that you definitely would see.
Dunbar we have a chance to see again.
So tell us your thoughts going into this game, because this was a team that you knew came from behind to win and pull out a big win against Southwestern the week before.
Exactly. You know, they had proven, and they've proven, you know, time and time again under Coach Hodge, and going back to the 2011 season, I believe it was, going back to that season, Bourbon County something like 43-10. I mean, they've got a phenomenal record, and of course the first 2 years under Coach Hodge, they were in the state semifinals. Each year they were undefeated up until the state semifinal game and lost to Belfry in each of those games. So we knew what kind of football team they were and what kind of program they were, and that you know, Clay Boland, outstanding quarterback, and Marquez Hill, just as good a running back. You know those are 6A quality players, and you know, we obviously knew that they had the ability to beat a team from a higher classification because they came back and beat Southwestern, and Southwestern, of course, noted as a top 5A team in the state. So you know, we knew that we had our hands full with the Bourbon County team, and you know, our kids did a great job of you know, acknowledging that fact. Of course, you didn't the thing about the teams that we play week in and week out, regardless of what class they're coming from, it doesn't take long. You can turn on the film and figure out pretty quickly that they can play. And you know, again, we feel like that Wayne County will be a very strong team as the season goes along. Dunbar being the 6A team in our region, we always have to compete well against teams in our region, and I feel like that the proof will be in the results at the end of the year. I think you'll see Bourbon County making another deep run in the playoffs, and so, you know, that being said, you know, we're blessed to come out 3-0, come out on the other side of this stretch, and now we're starting another very tough stretch here coming up with a very, very good, talented Bryan Station team.
Right. Now, you guys scored on your first 3 possessions. Landon White got you started off right with the field goal. Give us your thoughts on. Just give us your thoughts on that, because I don't want to put words in your mouth. So.
Sure. Well, you know, getting off to a good start has been something that we've been fortunate to do in our first 3 games, and you know, I think most teams play better when they get out of the gate well. If anybody watched the Ohio State game which would have been last night,
yes,
as we're filming this, you know, they got out of the gate really fast, and then Virginia Tech came back, and of course, when their quarterback went down, their offense kind of went down, but you know, they played well all night, but they got out of the gate well. And I think most football teams play well when they start fast, and that's a great thing. You know, I feel like that our team is poised enough now and mentally strong enough now that even if we do face some adversity at the beginning of a game, that we can still fight and get ourselves righted and get back on track and finish things well. You know, but you know, hopefully we'll continue to play well early, and we won't have to worry about that for a while. But,
right.
But I do think it's a real key, you know, in the Bourbon County game, being able to march down and you know, and we made the conscious choice on the sideline. Let's go ahead and put 3 points on the board. Let's make sure that we get this drive that was near the red zone, and of course we have a lot of confidence in Landon, and he's
right.
got a big leg. Feel like he's going to be able to put points on the board, and he did. And then had a huge stop on defense and was able to march right back down and put the points on the board with Lawrence's screen pass that he took 60-some yards for a touchdown, which was a huge play, got the crowd going.
And 64 yards.
That really helped energize things, because we just had the big play. Johan had made a big run. It was called back due to a hold. You know, and on our sidelines, I could hear our guys saying, "That's all right. Let's just go back and do it again." And sure enough, on the next play, we go back and do it again, and that the crowd was already charged, and then got charged again, and that kind of carried the momentum, I think, for the rest of the half.
Did everything go as planned for the game? I mean, did you change anything up?
No,
it never goes the way it's planned. It's a football game.
It rarely ever goes as planned, you know, but you know, at the same time, I think things did go well.
Right.
So, Yeah, I mean, as much as a football game can go as planned,
Yeah.
you know, we always, you know, as coaches, we feel like that we should stop them every drive that they have, and we should score every drive that we have, and convert everything. I mean, sure, that's what we go for, but
Right.
it rarely happens that way. The other team's got the same ideas in their head too.
Yes. So what did you say to the team at the half, knowing that they had just come back, you know, from being down against Southwestern and came back to win it? What did you say to them to?
Well, really, probably not much different than what we had been saying to them all week, because you know, they were very well aware of the fact that this team was not going to go away. That they played very well in the second half, and as they did play better in the second half. Fortunately, we played pretty well ourselves. But you know, we just the big thing was to stay focused and stay the course and continue doing what had been working for us. And though, you know, that's a pretty consistent halftime message for us, but it definitely was very true against Bourbon.
You have to be happy with the offensive line. It seems like they are making some big open areas for your guys to get through.
Yeah, well, our guys are playing very well, and you know, we've got, of course, you know, Cameron Davis, who we'll talk to here in a few minutes, and Will Ulmer and Bryce Stewart played a lot of football for us last year, and again, of course, Cam and Will have played a lot prior to that. And then, you know, Danny Thompson has done a nice job of stepping in at the center position, and he continues to improve. And you know, Blake Hammonds, the kids call him Lunchbox. He's this big sophomore right tackle for us, and he has stepped into a really key role on our team and is doing a very nice job. You know, we've got 7 or 8 sophomores that are playing a lot of minutes for us, and those guys are all doing a very good job of stepping into a difficult situation, because as we've talked before, you know, and I think with 6A football in particular, an ideal situation is guys would be juniors and seniors before they're really thrown into the fire, and we would be able to allow the sophomores to, you know, kind of season and develop on the JV level, much as like we're asking the freshmen to
Does it
take
surprise you
time.
how well they're doing
Well, you know,
as sophomores?
We felt like as we saw them coming up through the freshman team last year that they were going to have a chance to compete and help us. And I mean, I think definitely anytime you see sophomores contributing as much as some of these guys are, it's a pleasant surprise. You know, it's something that you can't always count on, and you know, everyone matures at a different level, and you know, it's you know, we've got a lot of guys that are just fighting every day to get better and continue to get better regardless of class, senior, junior, sophomore. And you know, it's exciting to see that these guys are contributing as much as they are as our
Right. Well, I know we got some superstars that we're going to talk to later that you brought in, but let's talk about some other superstars on the field. I mean, we got to talk about Williams.
Johan's having a nice run, and certainly this past game, a big game. You know, he rushed for over 170 yards and had the 3 touchdowns, and actually had a 50-plus yard touchdown called back. So you know that he had a big night, really, and they complement each other. The running backs that are primary playing the one-back position in Johan and Corian, who we'll talk to here in a few minutes, and Jabari Hughley also. You know, the 3 of those, they really do a good job. They complement each other so well. Johan may be just a little bit more of a slasher, and Jabari, he's a big play waiting to happen, and then Corian is just so strong and has developed a burst. The weight room, you know, he works so hard day after day in the weight room, as did all of our kids. But you know, really see a different Corian. He's actually probably about 8 or 9 pounds lighter than he was last year, but he's a great deal stronger,
leaner, yes.
And you know, there was a run that he had, I guess, that we talked about on our last show, in the Wayne County game, where he was carrying folks into the end zone, and those are pretty special runs. And you know, I think he'd even tell you that being the work in the weight room certainly has helped pay off. He's a very strong runner in his own right. So you know, these guys are doing a great job, and a huge part of our offense, because that one back spot is very important to have a great deal of production out of, and you know, we're getting a lot of production out of those guys right now.
So it's got to be difficult to decide which one you're going to get the ball to. Because you know they all want it.
You know, not really, and that probably is the most encouraging thing,
right?
Is because they all, and not just our one backs, but our twos and our fours and fives, our wide receivers, all of them obviously want the football,
right.
and but all of them have bought into our concept of being diverse, and when they get the opportunity to get the football in their hands, doing something with it, and that's the most thing, because I'm telling you, whichever one of those guys are in the game, the other ones are on the sideline cheering hard for them, pulling hard for them. And they when they get their chance, they get in there and go, and,
right.
and that's what I'm most excited about, because obviously that's kind of a theme of our program, and that's these wins have been team wins in the truest sense. We have so many people contributing, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
Well, and I have to admit, when I am down there right before halftime, standing right behind the team, it's quiet, they're focused, and what you hear is cheers for one another. And they're helping each other, and it really is a team effort. I mean, they're very positive.
And that's what we hope. We need it to stay that way. We hope that it continues to stay that way. And you can't work as hard as these young men have with each other and not develop some sort of bond like that. And I think definitely that they're seeing the results of that. They've worked hard with each other side by side. They've competed with and against each other, all throughout our full off-season program, and now they're thankfully starting to see some of the rewards of that, and that's exciting to see.
Well, we got to mention Zach Harden, the junior, your quarterback. Let's talk about him a little bit. He had 2 touchdown passes, and he ran one in. My notes are showing.
Yep.
I have completed 10 of 18 passes.
Yeah, he had a really good night, very efficient night. He's been, to this point, he's been very efficient overall. He's putting the ball in the right spot for the most part. Being able to make things happen, and he's not getting panicked or anything. If he's feeling a little bit of rush, he's doing a good job of keeping his eyes up and getting the ball downfield in the passing game. And what goes overlooked as a quarterback too many times is just that he is managing the offense very well, and he is running the offense very efficiently. And there's a whole lot more to playing quarterback than just dropping back there and slinging it.
Right.
That doesn't get seen all the time, but Zach's doing a very good job of making good mental decisions and helping us stay in the right formations and things like that. And we run a lot of motion in our offense, so it's real key to know on certain plays to when to set the motion off and when to snap the ball, and he's doing an outstanding job with that.
Zach was your quarterback last year. Can you tell an improvement just from a year?
Well, yeah, I think Zach steadily improved, based off the film that I watched of him from the varsity time that he got his freshman year. He worked a great deal in the offseason over that year, and moving into his sophomore year, going into a new offense and things. I'm sure it took some adjustment time. It never seemed to rattle him. He just took everything in stride and moved right on. But definitely, I think he's more comfortable in what we're looking for this year. Like I say, I think I mentioned before, we really didn't water the playbook down that much or anything for him last year. He got a good dose of what we were doing, and now we're able to even expand upon that because of the knowledge of all the kids that have of our package. And so, and again, Zach does a great deal of work in the off season on his own. He certainly has committed himself, not only to quarterback specific work, but also being a part of the weight program, the off-season weight program, and our quarterbacks, Zach, Kenton, all of them, they get in there and they do the exact same weight program that everybody else has done. So they're doing similar work in the weight room as the linemen are doing, as the backs are doing, the linebackers, and all the positions. It's individualized, but yet it's also similar in the fact that each one are asked to do the same thing. So, that helps things too. When his offensive line's looking over, watching him doing squat sets just like they are, it helps, kind of build that as well. And he's done a great job.
Well, and we have to talk about Cody Kidd. Off camera a second ago I mentioned it was fun as a fan to watch him chase that one kid down and, stop him from running that touchdown in.
Right.
And, of course, he tucked and rolled as he did it, and we're all thinking, oh, watch your collarbones,
Yeah. I guess that's kind of warranted with him, but man, he's really, he's doing very well, having a really solid senior season up to this point. And of course, I said in the off season that he could be a really, really huge addition to our team. He's a little bit of an X factor. He, starts on defense, is a really key guy on defense. He's very much in the wide receiver rotation and the special teams game, punt returns, all that. He's a really key guy, and he has very legitimate speed. His time of 4.39 was confirmed at a couple of camps this summer, and so I mean he's not gifted with great size, but he can run very well, and just the play that he made, I think it was a perfectly thrown ball by Bolin there late, and Dante Altamirano had fantastic coverage on it. It was just sometimes you have to tip your cap and say the guy made a great throw, and the kid made a great catch, and so he was breaking away, and Cody saw that and was able to turn on the speed, and just, I mean, that is a touchdown saving play that is all heart, and that is a huge play. Because a lot of our kids will make that play, but he was able to turn it on and go catch him and make them earn that touchdown, so to speak. And so it was a really nice play that was all hard, and that will be something that will show up on his highlight film later that college coaches will see and be very appreciative of.
Yeah, because you knew he's fast. You just were like, he's really fast.
Yeah, he can fly.
As a fan, that was kind of fun to watch. All right, so who else do we need to talk about? I mean, I have so many players that did so many wonderful things. There's a lot to talk about.
Tons of stuff from this past game. Tons of stuff from the past 2 weeks. But we had 5 different guys, 6 different guys carry the football. We had 6 different receivers catch the ball. And we have a lot of people getting involved in the game. We gave out helmet stickers today, and we had over. I'm pretty sure that there were 30 plus guys that played on the defensive side of the ball, and 25, 26 guys that played on the offensive side of the ball. So we're playing a lot of people. We're getting a lot of folks in. Yeah, it is.
Was that probably a record number of stickers?
Yeah,
compared to last year, I would guess.
Without question. We're definitely giving out a lot more. And of course, everybody on the team gets one for the win. And I told Coach,
I did not know that.
I told Coach Fritz the other day that I hope we have to make another order soon. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into anything else Coach wants to talk about. I know we have an outstanding freshman football team that we definitely want to talk about. And we'll be right back, right here at the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goble and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net. Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea. Luxury Pet Services in Richmond. Time Warner Cable. Equipment Sales and Rentals. Madison County Schools. Tatum Enterprises. And Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV. And of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
A shout out to another great sponsor, Journey Auto and Boat Sales in Richmond. It's the Mark Center Show from the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios in Richmond, Kentucky. Now with your host, Samantha Burford.
Welcome back to the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford here at Jack Burford Chevrolet. We're here, of course, with Coach Mark Centers. And not only do you guys have a wonderful varsity team, but you got an outstanding freshman team.
Yeah, we're really proud of our freshmen, off to a fantastic start. They've had big wins both of the first 2 weeks. this past Monday, or on Labor Day morning, they went up to Clark County, played GRC at 9 a.m. So a bright early day for them. But as we mentioned, it's a way to let those guys get their game in, and then hopefully our team and at least some of our coaches get an opportunity to spend some time with their families on Labor Day afternoon and evening. So it was a great deal, and they pulled out a 36-8 win up there on the road. Their first 2 games have been on the road. They won at Tates Creek with a big win, and then won again. Actually, I think you guys have got highlights on the website of the Tates Creek game, and then the win yesterday against Clark County. They're doing a great job, and we were talking earlier about kind of our program philosophy of sharing the football and getting the football in a lot of people's hands, and while they may not see it many times, when they do, they need to do something with it, and that's something that Coach Roof and Coach Minter and the freshman staff, Coach Rose and Coach Lloyd, finish out the staff. We've got a great group of men coaching them, and are really blessed to have such a good, solid staff coaching our freshmen. And they're kind of instilling that in those guys, because they've got a ton of guys on that freshman team.
I was going to say, yes, it's a large freshman class overall as a class.
Huge class.
And it's a large football class.
Yep, got about 54, 55 right now on the team, and a lot of those guys can play. And I'm just so impressed. They're 2 and 3 deep at each of the skill positions on offense, and the line's doing a great job. And defensively, there are some guys over on the defensive side of the ball that could easily be putting in time on the offensive side of the ball. And the defense has just been fantastic the first 2 games, and so just really excited about those guys and how they're complementing each other and growing already in our program. So it's not going to be anything new for them when they get to the varsity level next year about kind of how we do things, and a lot of playmakers, a lot of guys doing good things, and of course they've got a big game against Scott County again on the road. It's funny how the freshman JV schedule kind of worked this year. A lot of early road games, and then we finish up the slate at home. For near all the JV games will finish up at home, and then all but one of the freshman games will be at home. So going to have a lot of opportunities coming up later in the season to see those guys come out on a Monday night and watch those freshmen, because they're a special group, and our JV play right after them, and got a lot of guys that are working hard trying to earn varsity stripes on the JV level as well. So you just come out and support those guys coming up in those home games in October for them on Monday nights.
And I don't know if we've talked about this on air or not, but you're not the only coach that is really super excited about this freshman class.
Yeah.
At the post-game interviews with Coach Feldhaus, he is extremely excited. This group of freshmen is very talented.
They are, and they seem to be a very good working group.
Very athletic.
Even with all the talent that they have, they seem to be a very hard working group, and that's going to be the real key that determines if they reach the potential that they have.
Yes.
With every sport.
Stick with it.
That's right. With every sport. So we hope that they can come up next year and be a vital part of where we're trying to go, and I know again so many of our sports are excited about this group coming up, and
because so many of them play dual sports.
There are several,
whether it be football, baseball, or track, or
there are several guys. I can't think right off the top of my head, but I would venture to say probably 9 or 10 at least that play both football and basketball, and then a couple. I don't know if quite that many, but several that also play football and baseball, and so a lot of guys that do a lot of different things, and more than that too. So it's a really neat thing to see, and it'll be interesting to see if we can keep all 55, 56 of them, whatever there is,
fingers
as they
crossed,
go.
right?
But yeah, I mean, but
you might have to order more uniforms.
That'll be just fine. That'd be a nice problem to have.
Yes, it would.
Mr. Neely, I've spoken to him about that before. If we've got,
it's every 5 years, right?
We've got those players.
Can get new uniforms.
Yeah. I believe the uniform rotation is about that, and then like we told him, if we've got the players coming in. We don't want to make any parents upset because their kid doesn't have a helmet and shoulder pads, so we've got to find a way to get them.
That's exactly right. Okay, so let's talk about the upcoming game this Friday night, Bryan Station.
Yep.
Their homecoming you mentioned.
Yep, at Bryan Station for their homecoming. Of course, another big game. Very, very talented football team, very athletic football team from a standpoint of just, really kind of like what we try to do, putting athletes all over the field. Their quarterback, Andre Davis, is definitely a playmaker. He does a really good job of moving around in the pocket and keeping plays alive, and throws a really good deep ball. And if you drop off into coverage, he can also run it. Devin Key is a phenomenal athlete. He's committed somewhere. I can't think right off the top of my head where he's committed to, but I believe it's one of the MAC schools that he's committed to. He's a really nice football player. Of course, his dad, Dante Key, played for University of Kentucky. And Devin's a really good football player. He starts on offense and defense as well. So they'll be fired up with it being their homecoming, obviously. And our goal this year, like every year, is to be undefeated in homecoming games. And we've got this one coming up this week, and of course ours coming up the following week against Lex Catholic.
So tell us about that with your game coming up against Lexington Catholic the following week, which is our homecoming. Things are a little different. You have the homecoming parade on Thursday night.
Right.
So things are a little different there.
Yeah, we'll have to alter our schedule a little bit, our practice schedule a little bit. I'm really proud of our guys because I actually met with, we've got several guys that are candidates for the homecoming court, and really proud of their focus and the thing. They're already thinking of, okay, let's make sure that we're doing this the right way, because yes, we want to be a part of the homecoming festivities, but we also understand fully we've got a football game to win, and they have totally bought into the concept that homecoming is not really a success without the football team winning the game. And so we really feel very important about that. That's our job. That's our job. Our part of it is to do everything that we can do to make the football game a success, and everything seems to be a lot more fun and a lot more festive after a good win.
It sure does, and it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That seems like a long time from now, but it will be
it's right
September 18th, and it is right around the corner. This season's going by fast, and I'm going to knock on wood because I think you're doing pretty well in the injury department. Not a lot there, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, so far,
knocking again.
Yeah, knock here. It's we've been pretty well. A few guys banged up here and there. Of course, we lost Hunter. Had a big one right out of the gate in the scrimmage with Hunter. Who actually had his surgery today, and we wish him well. His dad texted me and let me know he was home, and things went well with that. So we're very thankful to the Lord that he's well and on the way to recovery. And then outside of that, we've had some guys with some lingering things that had happened in the preseason that are still lingering, and we're hoping to see some of those guys get well so that they can get back at it, even if it's for a brief period of time this season. The sooner they get back, the better. But that it's a huge key for any team staying healthy, and hopefully we can continue to do so.
All right, Coach, I always give you the last word. You got anything you want to add before we bring in our football superstars?
Well, just real quick, again, looked like we had a phenomenal student section at our game this past Friday night against Bourbon.
I think they wore tie-dye.
Tie-dye
was the theme.
They've always got a theme and got things going, and we appreciate their support so much, and we appreciate all the fans. It was a good Friday night for football, despite some lightning popping in the background. It kind of delayed us a little bit, but everything went really well. So we're certainly grateful for all the folks that came out and the student section for doing their part again. They're huge, and want to hopefully in the next few weeks, as we have our shows after the home games, we're going to have some players come in, and we've got 3 guys starting us off tonight that are really high quality football players and high quality young men. Cameron Davis, one of our senior leaders, he starts on the offensive line and defensive line, and is just he's one of those guys that coaches really love. If we could clone him and have a bunch of him, we'd be tickled to do so. And then Corian Cryer, of course, we've talked about him a lot, and how big a part of our team he is, not only on the offensive side but the defensive side of the ball as well as a linebacker. And then Blake Gross is another outstanding player, and Blake has really helped solidify our defensive secondary and is doing a phenomenal job as a corner for us. And each of these guys are getting some looks with some small colleges, and are huge parts of the leadership that this senior class is providing. And I can't tell you how proud I am of these young men, all of them in our senior class, and these are 3 fine examples here.
I know you're proud.
Very.
You can tell.
Very. Our senior class has not had an easy career. They've a lot of them thrown into the fire very early, and even though I wasn't here at that time, I kept close enough tabs on the program to know that a lot of these kids got thrown in the fire early. They went through a coaching change. They've had to
Really,
completely.
3 coaching changes if you think about it.
Yeah. But they've had to completely relearn a system in the middle of their career. They've had to completely reinvent their off season. You know, it has not been an easy 4 years for these guys, but the heart and the dedication and the mental approach that these young men are taking to the game, I just can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Well, I know the fans will be excited to meet them, and we'll get them up here and get them talking. Coach, again, congratulations, 52-28 win against the Bourbon County Colonels. Hoping to bring, well, by the time we do this again, 2 more wins.
That would be a huge blessing. Let's see if we can start going undefeated in homecoming games.
All right, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goebel and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. A shout out to another great sponsor, Journey Auto and Boat Sales in Richmond. It's the Mark Center Show from the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios in Richmond, Kentucky. Now with your host, Samantha Burford.
Welcome back to the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford, here with 3 very fine young men, as Coach Centers just mentioned. I'm going to let them have the opportunity to introduce themselves and tell all of us what positions they play.
Hi, I'm Blake Gross, number 2. I play defensive back and wide receiver.
I'm Corian Cryer, I'm running back and linebacker.
Cameron Davis, D-end and left guard.
So you guys play lots of positions. So over this senior year for you guys, you have to have a play or a certain game possibly. You've already had 3 games. You're 3-0. So tell us, I'll let you start, Blake, with something that you have just really found to be extraordinary this season.
Probably the Wayne County game. They had one side of the field wide receivers, the other side not, so I got to play like Corian all the time, and I was kind of a linebacker instead of a DB, and it was different. I liked it. It was fun.
So something a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Me, I'd say the Wayne County game because, like, going into, like, third quarter, one of our players, Jared Grant, middle linebacker, caught some cramps, so we had to switch some personnel around. Coach Miller ended up moving me to middle linebacker, which, I mean, I had an idea of, like, what to do, but, like, you know, certain keys. I knew, like, read the guards and everything.
Right.
It's different from being offset from the middle, and then you're one-on-one with those big linemen.
Yeah.
So,
a little different.
it's a little different.
So for you 2 guys, it's doing something a little unusual that you haven't done all
Yeah.
your whole career, football. What about you?
I can't really think of anything special. Just I like winning right now.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
got to be a great feeling because, I mean, 3-0. You guys haven't been 3-0 since 2008, opening
Yeah.
up the season. What are your thoughts on that? You can't be just happy with a 3-0. You got to keep winning, right?
Yeah.
This is a totally different team than last year.
We're all older and more experienced, and
Oh yeah.
our new coaches, we got a coach change a year and a half ago, I guess, now, and they've been lifting and running and working way harder and stuff and getting it done.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, just along what he said, just a lot of hard work. I feel like we're more disciplined this year than we have been. Us being younger, we didn't really have like a lot of strong leadership. I mean, we had individuals, but you know, just overall, there wasn't like a strong leadership. And I feel like us as seniors, we bring that to the younger guys. So we've all like bought into the system.
So as being seniors, what are your thoughts on that? Does it feel like you're stepping up into that leadership role? Does it feel like, okay, I'm not going to say that you feel old, because by no means are they old, but do you feel like, okay, I'm ready for this, like we're going to bring this and we're going to do it right?
What do y'all got?
Well, go ahead. I was just saying, it's not really we're just being put into it. Everybody's just going for that same goal. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a big team. It's a big family, really.
So everything the coach has been saying is accurate.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Is there anything juicy you want to tell us on Coach? Because, he doesn't really tell us too much juicy on you guys. Is there any kind of things, maybe superstitions?
I don't really think. I mean, I think we've had the same captains every game, so maybe that would be the superstition.
That-
That's what we need to
We
keep
changed
as
every
the-
game last year, but
Okay,
now he's
there
keeping
you
it
go.
going.
Coach, you
I
heard
think I found
right
it.
there. There it is.
I haven't cut my hair these 3 games. So
Yeah, no, I haven't
I'm just
either.
saying.
So what's your family going to say about that by the time the season's over? They're going to keep getting longer?
As long as we keep winning,
What about
Yeah,
I
shaving?
can deal with it. Oh, don't touch it.
No, you're just
Can't
going to
touch
let it grow.
Yeah.
So by homecoming, he's going to have it.
Well,
Down here, that's 2 weeks.
I've got some scissors. We may do something.
Coach is going to make you trim it up. Because you definitely don't want to hang it out your
Oh, yeah.
helmet, Well, and then
I'm
let
not-
the other team be able to grab that.
yeah.
So all 3 of you guys, are you thinking about playing for a college? You want to keep going?
Yes,
Yep.
Any ideas? Looking at anything special? Now's your chance, because they could be watching, recruiters.
My 2 biggest would probably be Lindsey Wilson and Center College.
Okay.
Me personally, I don't really have an idea.
You just want to play?
I do just anywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
The love of the game. Right?
I like U Pike, Lindsey Wilson, and Moorhead.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sounds good. Now, your next 2 opponents are really good. Bryan Station's always good, and Lexington Catholic's always good. Tell us your thoughts. Any strategies going into it?
Just
Keep doing what we're doing, working hard throughout the week.
yeah.
You know.
I know the Bryan Station's definitely by far they're a really athletic team, and we're gonna have to take in a lot of running this week, because you can't go over to them and approach them in a lazy stance, because they'll just go right beside you.
Right.
We're talking about guys that you can't tackle in phone booths, so
Yeah.
they're really agile guys. So
And it's going to be their homecoming. So,
Oh, yeah.
they're going to have a
Yeah.
big crowd there. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Mhm.
So it'd be nice to kind of
yeah.
I don't want to be mean, but you don't want them to bring home the win and
Yeah.
homecoming,
Oh,
Wouldn't that be even
Yeah.
more special on your bus
Yeah.
ride home?
Yeah.
But then we want to have a win for us for homecoming the
Yeah.
following
Yeah.
weekend, September 18th. What are your all's thoughts on that game, Lexington Catholic?
We're just gonna treat it like we always do. It's homecoming, but you just gotta stay level, as Coach always says. You can't go high, can't go low. You just gotta stay right there, mellow.
Are any of you guys up for homecoming team?
Yeah,
I think that's-
I got voted out. Didn't make it.
That's all right. We'll vote you back in.
It might have been the hair, I don't know.
That's what we'll blame it on, right? You got to keep that hat on or something. The helmet, wear the helmet, the skull. So Coach mentioned, one last question. Coach mentioned you guys getting the stickers on your helmets. What are your thoughts on that, as far as you want to keep those on there and keep them coming, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've doubled how many tickets I had since last year. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah,
only
for
get
sure.
them if we win a ball game, and so we get some for defense and offense. If we win ball games and we don't win them, we don't get nothing at all. And I mean,
Okay.
we've all probably doubled what we've had since last year.
From last year.
For sure.
You got to just have a special camaraderie going on as far as being seniors. You guys seem really grateful and really well balanced. Well, we really appreciate you guys being here, and we're going to be there rooting for you as far as the media goes. But we'll be there no matter what, because we're pulling for Central, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Always. All right. Thank you guys for coming in, giving up your time. I know your parents are going to say you should probably be studying, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. All right. Thank you guys for coming in, and best of luck to you.
Thank
All
you.
right,
All right.
thank you.
And thank you for watching the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford. Thanks for watching.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond, Jerry Goble and State Farm Insurance, Richmond, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, expressroofing.net, Cumberland Valley National Bank in Richmond and Berea, Luxury Pet Services in Richmond, Time Warner Cable, Equipment Sales and Rentals, Madison County Schools, Tatum Enterprises, and Real Life Community Church, myrealchurch.org. We want to be sure and thank our fine sponsors, Berea Online, First Gear, WKYT.com, and the Colonel Sports Card Shop. A shout out to another great sponsor, Journey Auto and Boat Sales in Richmond.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
The following is in smokeless tobacco: cadmium, formaldehyde, lead, nicotine, nitrosamines, polonium-210, hydrazine, benzopyrene, and uranium-235. Don't be a dip. Don't dip.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, the definition of binge drinking is having 5 drinks over the course of 2 hours. When done excessively, this may eventually lead to memory loss, unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases, cancer, excessive vomiting, alcohol poisoning, and possibly death.
Nathan, can you hear me?
If you don't want to swallow any of this, chances are the next tube you put in your mouth won't be a good time. For more information on binge drinking, please visit the Centers for Disease Control website at www.cdc.gov.